What's up, guys? Welcome to the Esoteric Coaching Channel. My name is Kayvon. This is Ben from Thrive King. Today we've come together to make a video about talking what is being single when you're 30 is like. So to make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go. Alright guys, welcome back to the Esoteric Coaching Channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Again, this is Ben from Thrive King. I'll have a link to his channel in the description below. Go subscribe to him, watch some of his content. He has some really good stuff. And today we linked up to talk about what being single when you're 30 is like. I just turned 29, Ben just turned 30. We're both single, so we thought this would be a really good topic because a lot of you guys out there could be single by choice, or you couldn't be single by choice. So I'm going to touch on that. We think there's 3 reasons why you could be single right now, and we'll let Ben take it over from here.
Yeah. So the first reason you might be single is probably the best reason, and that's you're a high value male and you're probably dating several women and you're choosing to be single, right? And then the second reason is probably the worst reason, and that's you're a low value male. You're not following your passions, you're not pursuing your dreams, and you're basically an involuntary celibate. And then the third reason is you're somewhere in between. You're trying to transition from a low value male to a high value male, and you might just prioritize dating a little bit lower on your list of priorities.
Yeah, and like we said, I think, a lot of the guys watching this video are probably not going to be the high value males because they are not wondering why they're single in their 30. They're totally happy about it and okay. Right. Well, maybe they're watching it, but at the same time, they're just doing it out of curiosity, where you might be searching for this because you are single when you're 30 and you don't want to be anymore. Or you could be someone like us where we're like trying to become better people, and we have girls that we're able to date, but they're not the girls that we see ourselves being with in the future. Like, they're not the girls that I see my future self with when I hit my goals, right? So I think a lot of guys are in that stage, and it's good to know what you could do to keep pursuing it. So now we're going to get into the benefits and difficulties for each one. All right, guys. So number 1, you could be a high value male and you have, like Ben said, a lot of women that you're dating, so you don't see a reason to settle down. Now, there could be a lot of benefits to this, in my opinion. One is you have freedom. You no longer have to give your time up, right? And freedom means you can follow your pursuits. Because when you're in a relationship, it takes sacrifice. You do have to sacrifice some of your time. You do have to give up something, right? You don't ever get something for nothing. As Napoleon Hill says, Think and Go Rich. Everything requires you to give up a little bit of something, which is not a bad thing, right? But when you're single, when you're like in 29, 30, and you're high value male, you have options available to you. You don't see the point of settling down. Maybe you just want to have fun. Maybe you just want to date a bunch of girls and see what's out there. It doesn't mean that you're not looking for a relationship, but you just don't see the reason to.
Dating, and positioning yourself in that category in life, it can definitely be beneficial. Dating is a skill just like anything else, and every time you date someone new, you learn a lot. You learn about how to interact with women, you learn about yourself. So being in the dating phase has a lot of benefits, along with it's probably pretty fun too.
Yeah, but there's going to be cons, guys. Like, again, there's always cons. And cons might not be as bad as the other ones, but, you aren't in a relationship, which could be a bad thing, right? Maybe that you haven't found the right person, you are dating all these people, but that could actually take away from you ever wanting to be in a relationship in the first place, because when you're with a lot of women and you get with one girl, it could be harder to stay with that one girl and stay loyal to it, right? Because you already know that you can go out there and have sex with a bunch of girls, which is kind of like an egotistical thing. I mean, I've been there as well, where I've had sex with a lot of women and I didn't want to because I always thought there was more choices out there. But developing a relationship with the women isn't a bad thing. A lot of guys want to men go their own way, and that's cool. Like, I support you if you want to do that, but me personally, that's not what I want. I want companionship. I want to be with a girl, and being with someone, cuddling, building a relationship, there's a lot of benefits to it. You have someone to share with, you have someone to grow with, you find someone who's into your passions. Like you said, you're a high value male. You should be able to find someone that has the same passion and goals as you. You guys can build a life together, and you have someone that's going to be there to always fall back on. And not worrying about women frees up a lot of energy. Not dating frees up a lot of money, right? It does take a lot of energy to date all these women. It's not, you have to go find a new girl, you have to go to bars, you have to talk to them. But if you have one person, you can go out there and do that, but you have that one girl waiting for you back home. Right.
And plus, like, if you are, the problem that you might face if you're there too long is that you're not taking the next logical phase, which is pursuing a monogamous relationship and starting a family, right? In my opinion, I think that being a father is the ultimate manlyhood, and if you are in sexual abundance and you're remaining there, you know, a little longer, you're staying over what you need to stay, that's your own issue, and that's one of the cons that you can find in that category.
But I will say one last note that when you're late 20s, early 30s, it's still kind of early for that. Like, you know, like
true.
You should be good, but we're just saying, we're just playing devil's advocate right now, and that could be a con, right? Because it does take time to make a relationship work. It does take a year or two, maybe. Some people really fast, but you need to spend some time. And if you start when you're 36, you might not start that family until you're 40, right? So that's just something to keep in mind.
Right. So the second thing is that you are basically an involuntary celibate, which is you might be, you know, 40, living in your mom's basement. You're not pursuing your passions.
30 at this one though, right?
30 in this one, right? And you want to date, but you can't because you're essentially, and this sounds bad, but you're essentially not a high value male yet, right?
Yet.
Key
word.
And this is kind of where we find I feel like a lot of like men go their own way, and MGTOW is like they've kind of they feel like they've acknowledged that the dating game is a losing game, and that, you know, unless you have the best genetics or you come from the best family, that dating's not for you. And I think that's, not to get too preachy, but I think that's like kind of the easy way out, right? The easy way is to say, you know, I don't want to play this game anymore. But really deep down you do, right? Because you always, as a man, you always have sexual desire. And any desire that you're not somehow trying to cater or act on is wasted potential.
Oof, I like that. I think a low value male too, you gotta realize that they might not realize that they are low value males, because everyone has this ego, everyone thinks that they're best at everything, right? So no one will say that they're a low value male, but until you acknowledge it, you're not gonna be able to get to the third one, which is where we even say we're at. Like we're humble enough, and like, you know, we let down our ego enough to like be able to say, hey, at one point I was a low value male. But you know what? That was one of the most transformational periods of my entire life when I acknowledged that, because it made me like realize how much I need to do. It finally made me take responsibility for things. But you know, there's not that many benefits to being a low value male. Like we could talk about the benefits of it. Yeah, you have as much freedom as you want. You have as much time as you want. Yeah, you can play video games. You can eat whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, because you're not trying to impress anyone. But realistically, you're not healthy. You're not doing anything in your life. So you know, the cons are almost everything. You're not pursuing your passion. You're not seeing your value as a man. You're not realizing your potential as a human being on this planet, right? Because anything in this world has to be focused on growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not progressing, you're regressing. So if you just decide to stay stagnant as a low value male, you're not staying stagnant. You're digging a hole every single day. You're digging a hole every day because you're not getting better as a man, right? They said that you have to battle stress every single day in order to overcome it. It's the same thing as potential. If you don't every day pursue your potential, you're losing potential. Right?
Absolutely.
So being a low value male, like, you gotta do something. You gotta either stop jerking off, you need to stop watching porn, you need to start working out, you need to start reading books. There's so many things you could do because you're at the lowest point. Right? There's anything you could do is better than nothing at this point. And you don't have to go be with the girl. Choose to be single at this point now. Because right now, at this point, a lot of you guys are just single without a choice. Like, life's doing it to you. But if you go, hey, I'm gonna take 3 months off, I'm not gonna pursue a girl, but I'm just gonna make myself better, I guarantee that girls are gonna be more attracted to you from the get-go. Because girls are attracted to a guy that pursues his passion.
Another thing to be said about phase 2 is if you really zoom out on yourself and you view yourself as like a cog in the societal wheel, right? If you are just playing World of Warcraft in your mom's basement, you're just kind of taking from society, right? You're not actually giving anything to society. By not following your dreams, by not following your real desires, effectively you're removing from society, right? Because if you follow your dreams and you really push for your goals, you don't know how big of an impact you're gonna have on those around you, your friends, your family, the people that follow you. Imagine if your favorite musician never picked up their instrument and never made music, right? That could be you right now. And you're essentially depriving society of the gift that you have to give.
And you're just making it easier for the guys like us that want to chase girls, because there's more girls and guys in the world anyway. But if you're taking a time out and sitting down, you're just making it better for us, which is okay. But I don't want you guys to do that. We're not selfish, and there's plenty to go around. So you should become a better guy. All right, number 3 is where you're somewhere in the middle, and I'd say this is where I'm at. Ben would say this is where she's at. And there's nothing wrong with being in this phase. I guess we call it the transition phase, because you're no longer a low value male, but you're not necessarily a high value male. And like that makes sense. There is something in between. There isn't a word for it. We could say middle value male, but MVM, it kind of sounds weird. I'd rather be MVP. But yeah, but you know, transition phase is where you've decided like, hey, like, you know what? I want to be better. I want to get the girl that I want to get, and I don't want to settle for anything less. And I think that phase, when you're single, it's actually a gift. This is where being single in your late 20s and 30s becomes a gift, because you have the time and freedom, like a high value male, to pursue your passions and pursue your dreams. And by pursuing those passions and dreams, you're kind of getting closer and closer to being a high value male.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and when you're at this age, you know, and you decide, hey, this is my path, you know, there's nowhere to go but that place. You know what I mean? When you're at this age, it's like there's nothing else that you can do. There's no more you know, doubt. There's no more should I do this, should I do that. It's we're here and we're going for this, and we're designing lives that we're really trying to lead.
I think it's really important too, is like you have to acknowledge your shortcomings. You have to acknowledge and admit that you aren't a high value male yet, because you can't have this like ignorant viewpoint. You know, people say like, speak it and fake it until you make it. Fuck that shit, Joe. You can't fake it till you make it. You have to acknowledge that you have things that you need to work on. You have to acknowledge that you're not where you need to be, and then you need to like step into that role and pursue those things. I wouldn't call it faking it, because I think that's like kind of a shitty thing to do, because you're like trying to pretend like you're already there, and that gives you this false sense of confidence. And being confident is very important, but a false sense of confidence is very dangerous, because it makes you think that you can do things that you're not ready yet to handle. You should always live at your edge. I think that's the transition phase, is to get to a high value male. You need to figure out like where you feel comfortable, and just take one step out of there. Make that comfortable, then take another step out of there. And I think that, like I said, in my opinion, like if you're here, like you shouldn't be worried about it. If you're like, you're reading, you're working out, you're pursuing your passion, you're getting better at your job, there's no way you're not gonna find a girl. Like you're already building so much value. And remember, like if you're at this age, girls are more like looking for partners than they were when they're 20. When you're 20s, girls just want to find an alpha male. They want to fuck, they want to have a baby, they want to move on. When girls are 27, 30, their sexual value in the marketplace, I'm sorry ladies if you want to hear this, but this is true, it's starting to decline. Your beauty is almost, I'm not saying that personality doesn't matter, but as guys, visual importance is very important to us. And you're a guy, so that means you could always go and chase girls that are 24, 25. You don't have like, you be 33, there's gonna be plenty of 24, 25-year-old girls then. They're getting older, there's still other girls to choose from. So never live in a scarcity mindset. Right? Like you're not supposed to be better at this point. You are what you are, and you have time to get better, and still have time to find a beautiful wife that whatever age you choose.
And what you might experience when you're in this phase is you might think like, okay, like, you know, maybe I can't get any women. You're in the second phase. Or, you know, maybe I can get women, but they're not the women that I really want. They're not the dream girls that I want, right? So what you can do in this phase is you can put dating aside, right? And you can effectively just grind out on your passions and just put time into those passions. Put your sexual desires aside, knowing, having faith that down the line in the future, you will become a high value male. You will be able to date several women simultaneously. You will be able to choose the one that you want to enter a monogamous relationship, if that is what you choose to do.
And I think we talked about this too. Being a high value male isn't like, you don't necessarily have to be the most in shape, the most rich. Like, you know, women are very attracted to passion.
Absolutely.
Women are attracted to a lot of things, so you can have a lot of connections. Maybe you're really good at guitar, maybe you're really good at painting, maybe you're a really good like talker, or you're a good socializer. All these things can make you a high value male, because being that depends on the situation you're in. You know, like if you're in a place like Silicon Valley where everyone makes money, money is no longer something that's going to make you high value, because there's so many people that have it. Now, it does give you a better chance than if you're broke. But if you're broke and you're the coolest, sickest person in the world, there could be a girl out there that's hot as shit that'd rather be with you than someone who makes $300K a year, but is the worst, dullest person in the world, right?
Absolutely.
So, being high value is very like situational, and it's not like dependent on one
monetary.
factor.
It's not monetary, and it's not physical. Like, you can spend so much time in the gym and get the best body, but still not be that fun to hang around, right? And the same thing with money. You put time into money, you'll make money, right? But just because you have money doesn't mean you're interesting or fun to be around, right? And And that's what you're trying to cultivate, right?
And I think that comes down to, like, again, like, you could be a high value male but not finding the girl that you want. It could be because, let's say you make a lot of money and you're attracting girls because of that, but those girls that you're attracting aren't the kind of girls that you see yourself being with. So this is where going through this transition phase isn't a bad thing. Take a step back. You are a high value male in that regard, but maybe you need to become a high value male in the socializing part. Maybe you need to become a high value male in connections part. There's all these things you can better out, and I think it's a never ending path. And I think that even when I'm in a relationship, I still consider myself a transitioning male, even if I'm high value, because whenever you're doing that, you're saying that the journey's done. Yeah. I don't want the journey to be over. I want to keep progressing and keep chasing like the next level, whatever that may be.
Yeah, and Kayvon really touched on this earlier. Like, women really value potential. So let's say you are like a stage 2, you're an incel, and you're playing World of Warcraft every day in your mom's basement, right? Women, when you start, even when you just start to shift your life and you start to say, hey, like, these are the things that I'm passionate about, if you can really convey your passion and the impact that you want to have through this passion on the world, right? Women will feel this, and they will generate so much attraction to you just based on that alone.
For sure, guys. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Ben, thanks for coming on. Again, Ben from Thrive Pink. Link is in the description below. If you guys are still watching, you made it this far, you guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Much love. Peace.